Hey there, future tech wizards. Ever thought about shaping young minds in the world of ones and zeros?
Becoming the awesome ICT teacher every kid wishes they had.
Exactly. Today's deep dive is all about landing that dream job. ICT teacher at the secondary school level.
We're talking acing that interview, having the best answers, everything. We've got a stack of resources here from RoleCatcher.
Their career guide and top interview questions.
Yeah, they're jam-packed with insights.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we jump into the nitty-gritty of interview prep, what's like the big picture for ICT teachers right now?
Well, first off, remember, you're not just teaching software. You're fostering, digital literacy, preparing students for a future driven by technology.
Which is like everything these days.
Totally. And this isn't just about filling some random vacant position. The Bureau of Labor Statistics, they predict 4% job growth for secondary school teachers.
So this is a field that's in demand.
Oh, yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Okay, but before you can launch into that inspiring first lesson, got to nail that interview.
For sure.
RoleCatcher provided 10 common questions IC teachers get asked. Let's break them down.
Okay.
First up, how many years of experience do you have teaching ICT? Seems pretty, straightforward.
Yeah.
Is there a hidden layer here?
It's definitely an icebreaker question, yeah. And you want to set the tone, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're gauging not just your years of experience, but the relevance of your experience.
I like it.
What have those years equipped you to handle, right? Especially in this specific school environment.
Okay.
Like, they might even follow up with, what were some of the biggest challenges you faced in your previous role, and how did you overcome them?
Okay, so it's not just about the number. How do we make our years sound impressive?
Especially if we're, just starting out.
You really want to focus on the achievements within those years?
Okay.
Even if they're outside a traditional classroom, like did you pioneer some new, coding curriculum?
Ooh.
Or lead a robotics club? Something like that?
I like it.
Even volunteer work or personal projects, like anything that demonstrates your passion and skills.
Yep.
So it's about connecting the dots for them.
Yes.
Instead of just saying, I've got 2 years,
Yeah.
it's more like,
Over the past 2 years, I've had the opportunity to briefly describe a relevant accomplishment, and I'm so eager to bring that same energy and dedication to school named students.
now that's how you own your experience.
Right.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll jump into more of those make-or-break interview questions with help from RoleCatcher. Stay tuned.
And we're back. More insider tips on conquering those ICT teacher interview questions.
Let's do it. Question number 2.
Ooh.
How would you assess students' understanding of ICT concepts?
Oh,
What's
cool.
the underlying question, do you think?
Well, they're looking into, your teaching philosophy, how you actually figure out if a student is learning.
Right.
And your grasp of, different assessment strategies.
Yeah.
Are you tuned into different learning styles and stuff like that? Can you really tell if students are, actually understanding these complex concepts?
Right.
And be ready, they might hit you with a follow-up.
Okay.
Something like, can you give me an example of a time you had to adjust your teaching based on, how well students were understanding?
Oh, I like that. So how can you show them you're not just, lecturing at students?
Right.
You're making sure they get it.
This is where you gotta, showcase your toolbox.
Okay, yeah.
All those different assessment types, don't just list them, though. Talk about how you actually use them to support learning.
Got it.
Think beyond traditional tests and quizzes.
Right. So instead of saying I'd give them a test, it's more like,
I believe in using a variety of assessments, to get a more complete picture of student understanding. So I might start with something like, mention a specific formative assessment strategy, just to kind of gauge comprehension in the moment. And then, maybe incorporate something like, mention a more formal assessment, like a project or presentation, where students can actually apply their learning to a real-world scenario.
so you're showing them you're thinking about ongoing feedback,
Yeah.
targeted evaluations, and practical application of skills.
Exactly.
All right, question number 3. How do you integrate technology into your teaching? This feels like, oh, this is our wheelhouse.
Yeah, let your tech flag fly.
Right. What are they listening for here?
They want to hear that you're not just comfortable using technology,
Yeah.
but that you're thoughtfully weaving it into your lessons
Yes.
to really enhance the learning experience.
Right.
Be ready to actually talk about specific tools and how you've used them to achieve particular learning objectives.
So no listing every software program you've ever used.
Right.
We need specifics.
Yes.
And they might even ask, Can you tell me about a time when technology helped you overcome a specific teaching challenge?
Exactly. Instead of saying, I use PowerPoint, you could say, when I'm teaching about online safety, I like to mention a specific tool or platform to simulate real-world scenarios and help students build those critical thinking skills.
This is where having a portfolio is so clutch.
Yes.
Of lesson plans, projects.
Yes.
RoleCatcher recommends this.
It's huge. It really lets you bring those examples, into the interview.
Okay, question number 4.
Hit me.
How do you differentiate instruction for students with varying levels of ICT proficiency?
Oh, the differentiation question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every teacher knows you're going to have a diverse group of students with a wide range of tech skills.
For sure.
What are some effective strategies that we can highlight here?
Oh, so many good ones. You could talk about using tiered assignments where you provide different levels of complexity, based on the student's readiness.
Okay.
Or maybe you do more individualized instruction, like during hands-on activities.
Yeah.
Offering extra support to some students while others are ready to move ahead at a faster pace.
Ooh, what about those online resources?
Yes.
Those adaptive learning platforms are amazing.
Oh, yeah. They're awesome for providing that personalized practice and support.
They're going to want to hear about that.
Yeah.
They might even ask, what are some of your favorite ed tech tools for differentiation?
It's going to come up for sure. And, really the key here is to showcase your flexibility and your willingness to meet each student where they are.
I like it.
Something like, I'm really committed to creating this inclusive classroom where every student can succeed. And I do this by mention 2-3 specific differentiation strategies you use.
Okay, question number 5. How do you stay up to date with the latest developments in technology and ICT education?
Ooh, this is a big one.
Right. They're definitely going to ask a follow-up question like, what are some recent ed tech trends that you're most excited about?
Oh, absolutely. So this is where you show them that you're dedicated to continuous learning, which is non-negotiable in a field as fast-paced as ICT.
Because, let's be real, what we teach in tech today could be ancient history tomorrow.
Oh, 100%.
They need to see you're on top of your game.
Yes, showcase that you're proactively staying ahead of the curve. So talk about your go-to resources, professional journals, industry blogs, online communities. Are you attending conferences? What are you doing?
And certifications.
Yes.
RoleCatcher highlights some key ones.
Love it.
The Microsoft Certified Educator, Google Certified Educator.
Huge.
Having those certifications, it not only shows that you're committed to your professional development, but it shows that you're proficient, in these latest technologies.
Exactly.
So let's craft a response that just screams lifelong learner.
Yeah.
What do you think about this? I make it a priority to stay current in this, ever-evolving field. I regularly mention 2-3 specific activities you do to stay up to date, and I'm also currently pursuing a specific certification just to further enhance my skills.
Ooh, I love how specific and action-oriented that answer is. You're not just saying you stay up to date, you're showing them how.
Yeah.
And that mention of actively pursuing a certification, that really hammers home the message.
Shows that commitment. Okay, time for question number 6. How do you approach developing lesson plans for ICT courses? This one's pretty open-ended.
It is, and that's by design.
Okay.
They're giving you a chance to showcase your creativity, your understanding of the curriculum,
Right.
and how you design engaging learning experiences.
So where do we even begin?
We'll start with your process. Do you begin with the end in mind? Identifying those key learning objectives and then working backwards.
Okay.
Or maybe you're more into that inquiry-based approach, starting with a real-world problem that's going to, spark student curiosity. Right. Mention some curriculum frameworks that you've used.
Okay.
That you're familiar with.
And of course, differentiation.
Oh, always.
Got to weave in those strategies
Absolutely.
for how you're going to be meeting those diverse learning needs.
Be prepared for follow-ups too. Can you walk me through a recent ICT lesson that you planned?
Ooh, good one.
Or how do you make sure that your lessons align with our school's technology goals?
Right, showing that you've done your research.
Exactly. So you could say something like, when I'm planning ICT lessons, I like to start by describe your lesson planning process. I also always keep in mind and mention a specific aspect of lesson planning you prioritize.
It's a very thorough response that shows you're structured, but adaptable.
For sure.
In your approach.
And it shows that you're committed to rigor, but also, keeping students engaged.
Right.
Okay, question number 7.
Okay.
What teaching strategies do you use to engage students in ICT courses?
I like this one.
It's your time to shine.
Right. It's not just about knowing the tech.
It's about bringing it to life.
Yeah. Making it come alive for students.
Mhm.
What are some winning strategies?
Think about what makes you as an educator.
Okay.
Like, what are your go-to methods for making learning fun but also effective,
Right.
Project-based learning is always a winner, allows students to really apply their knowledge.
Right.
Gamification can be super effective. And never underestimate the power of a good story.
Right. Oh, and they might ask you to, elaborate
Oh, yeah.
on a
Yeah.
specific strategy. Can you give me an example of how you've used gamification in your ICT teaching?
Exactly. So be ready with those concrete examples. You can say something like, I find that mention a specific teaching strategy is really effective for explain how it engages students and enhances learning. For example, in my previous role, I share a brief anecdote about a time you successfully used this strategy.
So it's all about showcasing your passion
Yes.
and your ability to create those light bulb moments.
Those aha moments.
Right, for students. Okay, we're going to take another quick break.
Okay.
When we come back, more interview advice, more insights from RoleCatcher. Stick with us. So we've covered the what, the questions, the strategies, but let's talk about the how. How do you, bring your A game to that interview and really stand out?
Honestly,
Yeah.
let your passion shine through. This is key.
Okay, yeah.
You're not just there to recite information about technology. Right.
You're there to share your love for it, your enthusiasm for teaching, how excited you are to work with these students.
It's contagious.
Oh, totally. When you're genuinely excited about something, it rubs off on everyone else.
Totally.
Especially in an interview. They're really trying to get a sense of who you are.
Right, right.
And remember, you're not just answering their questions, you're having a conversation.
Okay, I like that. So be authentic.
Yes. Be yourself.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to let your personality, come through.
So true. They want to see the real you, the person who's going to connect with those students.
Exactly.
And bring something, special to their school. And on that note, remember, an interview is a two-way street.
Yes, 100%.
It's also a chance for you to see if the school's the right fit for you.
Yes.
So what are some questions that we can ask? To really get a feel for their school culture and their approach to ICT. I love that. So yeah, don't be afraid to dig a bit deeper. Ask about their vision for technology integration.
Okay.
Ask about the professional development opportunities they offer. Ask about what kind of support they provide, especially for newer teachers.
Yes. It shows you're thinking long term. That you're not just thinking about getting a job, you're thinking about building a whole career
Exactly.
at their school.
And of course, don't forget the basics. Dress professionally,
Right.
be on time, always send a thank you note.
Those little things make a big difference.
They really do. It shows you're, professional, courteous, and that you're really invested in this.
Totally.
And then finally, take a deep breath and believe in yourself. You've got this.
Yes, you've got this. You've put in the work, you've honed your skills,
Mm.
and you're passionate about making a difference. Let that confidence shine through.
Yes. And remember that RoleCatcher has your back every step of the way.
They do.
From crafting that perfect resume to practicing those interview answers, they've got the tools, they've got the resources to help you land that dream ICT teaching job.
So go out there, future tech educators.
Yeah.
Embrace the challenge.
Yes.
We can't wait to see all the amazing things you're going to accomplish.
We believe in you.
Until next time, happy teaching.